Hello and welcome to the Dennis M. Lynch Arena as the Rhode Island College Anchormen take on in-state rival and conference rival Roger Williams. Roger Williams at the moment ahead of the Anchormen in the standings, but it's a golden opportunity for the home side to pick up some ground in the standings. Jared Ware joined as always by Sam Allen here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV. Sam, this Anchorman team right now just 1-3 in the conference. Roger Williams comes in at 4-2. How big of a game is this for the Anchormen?
This is huge for the Anchormen. This is their last conference game of the semester before they break. And then second semester, they have 5 conference games in a row. So this game is huge for the Anchormen. It's on their home ice. If they don't win this game, they're going to have to try to win 5 games back-to-back next semester. That's a challenge for any team.
Right now, the Anchormen are at the bottom of the conference standings, but that doesn't tell the whole story. The Anchormen have played less games than most of their conference foes, and here's another opportunity. What do you know about this Roger Williams team, and how do you think the Anchormen will match up against them this afternoon?
They've kind of won and lost almost everyone. Last year, Rick used to jump up a division, play Bridgewater State for a couple games. Roger Williams has lost to Bridgewater State now in conference games, and whereas Rick and Bridgewater, they were always close games. So it's kind of like, from what I've heard from Roger Williams, they're kind of all over the place. They've won Westfield, lost to Westfield. They're just all over the place. It all depends on where the game's held.
Now, we come in here on RIC Hockey Fridays, and personnel is an issue for the Anchormen. Give us some of the quick updates that you have on the lines and the defensive partnerships.
All of the forward lines have changed. All of the defensive pairings have changed. They've broken up that first line, Duquette, Murray, Bathgate. That line is no more. It is now Murray paired with Brian Luther, Mark Natalizia, and then you have Andrew Bathgate and Duquette have stayed together, and they are now paired. With Ricky Pannone. Add some speed to that grouping. And then as far as defense, the team has lost Mora. Brett Mora is the powerhouse on that defense. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. That's a huge loss for the Anchormen. So it's kind of like looking for Mike Marinelli to step up a little bit. Ryan Huber's jumped back to defense. So it's going to be a tough game for the Anchormen. There's a whole lot of personnel changes and a lot of injuries.
New bodies and new places for the Anchormen. They're taking on a familiar foe here this afternoon in a familiar place here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV. We'll be back with the introduction of our starting lineups and the national anthems here from the Dennis M. Lynch Arena. Stick with us. Back here inside the Dennis M. Lynch Arena, we're just about set for the introductions of your starting lineups in the national anthem. The captains talking to the refs right now out at center ice. They both split their separate ways, head to their end line. The Anchormen putting out a new forward line who you'll hear in just a few moments. And we'll talk to you a little bit more about that on the other side of this. So your starting lineups this afternoon for the Anchormen, they send out a new first line, and that's going to be comprised of number 14, Alex Murray, number 18, Brian Luther, and number 24, Mark Natalizia. The first defensive pairing on the ice for the home team is Mike Martinelli and Ryan Huber, who drops back after playing forward for a few games, so he's played a little forward, little defense this season. And for Roger Williams, their forward line is Ian Mitchell, number 4, number 17, Dan Wisniewski, and number 20, Jared Rizzo, who's leading the team in points coming into this one. And their defenders are number 2, Dylan Zaro, and number 9, Michael Knox. Your two goalkeepers this afternoon, number 1 for the Anchormen, Vinny Tadino, and number 1 for Roger Williams, James Fabrice. We'll go for Brees on that last name.
Yeah, that works.
French connection as the Anchormen are over by their coaching staff on the far side of the ice, getting their final word from Coach Gwynn and Coach Calcione. It's that time of day. It's that time of the broadcast. Sam Allen.
I knew it was coming.
Result and score. Last time we were in here, you were actually correct for the first time ever, and probably for the last time ever.
Probably for the last time ever.
But let's see if you can make it 2 straight. Let's get a prediction.
Rick's going to win, and it's going to be 4-3.
Great score. Great score. Really like to see that. So all 11 are on the ice. Zebras over the face-off circle, and we're set to go. This is a big rivalry showdown. Expect things to get chippy, physical, a lot of extracurricular activity. Should be a great hockey game as Ryan Huber controls the puck, goes D-to-D to his defensive partner, Mike Martinelli, who tried to saucer it away from Ian Mitchell, who kept it in the Hawk zone for just a moment. Puck all the way out to the red line in the neutral zone. Just shoveled in by Murray. Big hit against the boards. He got a good piece of Zaro. We're going to see a lot of physicality in this one. These two teams know each other well. They don't like each other. Some familiar names for Roger Williams. Jared Rizzo specifically is one we're going to have to keep an eye on. He's been a thorn in the side of these Anchormen in his career with the Hawks. As we're going to get mass line changes, we'll see the first face-off of the afternoon.
Another look at a brand-new line out there for the Anchormen with Nate Duquette, Andrew Bathgate, Ricky Pannone, their new second line. Speedy Pannone taking the place of Alex Murray.
Max Waski skated in for Zach Borman there to take that face-off. The Hawks have it. They cycle it behind the boards. Nadiger's there. Try to just shovel it forward, but that was good pressure from Borman. Battle for the puck right in front of the Zamboni doors. The Anchormen come away with it into the neutral zone. Pannone, cross-ice feed. Couldn't find the tape of Duquette. Here come the Hawks. Wrister, saved by Tadino. Long, high rebound. Fell nicely onto the backhand for Borman. No, excuse me, that's Jeff Demers. Couldn't get the backhand effort on frame. He had a lot of net to shoot at, though. Puck right in front in the slot. Nadiger has it, comes near side to Pannone, gets a touch of it, knocks it up against the boards, gets away from the defender. Kearney tried to square it in front. Duquette was lurking. Roger Williams has it. That's good forecheck pressure, though, put on by Andrew Bathgate. Got a poke check in there, and that's just dumped in by Max Waski. Up against the board, Daniels traps it with his skate. Saucers it forward into the neutral zone. The Hawks take it away, though, dump it right back in. DiPietro doing his job as the Hawks now have their third line out on the ice. And here comes Ant Daniels. Jack Voney coming into the attacking zone for the Anchormen. Had it poked away by the defender. That was Kevin Murphy. Taken down into the corner. Putting on the brakes is DiPietro. Puck loose behind Tadino's net. Going down into the corner to get it is Martinelli. Still in the attacking zone for the Hawks. Right in the face-off circle. Dumped along in the direction of Tyler Gover. Anchormen fire it off the boards, but again, it's kept in by the Hawks. So a lot of time this puck has been kept in the attacking zone of the Hawks. They've been on the front foot in the early stages of this game. Expect the Anchormen, though, to grow into it. We're still real early into this game, about 2.5 minutes, as Huber's taken off his feet there by his counterpart Murphy, wearing the number 22 for the Hawks. Luther comes on, gets his body into Gover just a bit. Unable to take him off his skates, though. Here's Murphy. Miscontrols off the boards, gets a second chance at it, dumps it forwards. He's going to skate right to the bench. Puck behind, right at the end line. Thrown off the boards, and there's a huge hit right in front of the Zamboni doors. That was Nadiger who was taken off his feet. Wrapping around Cutter. Again, the Anchormen just trying to get the puck clear. They finally get it into the neutral zone to alleviate some of the pressure, but it's dumped immediately right back in by Jason Stowe. Skalabinski played with the puck a little bit, fired it into the neutral zone. Coming back once again are the Hawks. Daniel Kelly, backhanded effort, kicked away from Tadino, trying to latch onto the rebound with Stowe. Couldn't get a good piece of it. Stowe cycles the puck, allows for a line change. The first line back on for the Hawks. Rizzo kicks it onto his tape, finds a wide open man. That's Ian Mitchell. Slap shot in front. Rizzo on the backhand, just missed wide. Tadino was on his back. No chance he could have made the save.
You did say we needed to watch out for Rizzo.
And that's stolen away again in open ice by Mitchell. Comes down the right wing, thought about taking the slap shot, skates inside, collides with Tadino. Puck's loose behind. Vinny lost his stick. And the whistle finally goes. There was all sorts of body and carnage in the painted area as Mitchell came driving in on Tadino's crease. Tadino stayed strong. But already you can tell Roger Williams' attack has been just dominating to this point.
Yeah.
16-11 remaining in the first period. Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you the action here on Anchor TV. RIC Hockey Fridays brought to you by Anchor TV.
Not surprised, though. Rick is playing with 4 defensemen for the second time this season. It's not surprising to see most of the action down in front of Tadino.
And lost in that shuffle, there was a penalty. So the Anchormen are on the penalty kill here for 2 minutes.
Vinny's going to get a penalty for cross-checking on that one.
So David Cook is the sacrificial lamb, and the Anchormen will set up their penalty kill. Roger Williams, as if they've needed more of an advantage, now they have a numbers advantage on the ice, and this on the right wing. Here comes Borman, slows up, drops it back, nearly intercepted, open ice. And this is who you wanted on the stick, Nathan Duquette, the team's leading scorer, goes 5-hole, and that's a shorthanded goal for the Anchormen.
It's a big goal for the Anchormen, getting on the board first in this game. Key.
What a mistake at the blue line. I believe that was Rizzo who miscontrolled the puck, allowing Duquette to poke it away, and he had about 45 feet of open ice, bear down on the goalkeeper Fabrice, and he had no chance, went 5-hole, and Duquette picks up his team-leading 12th goal of the season, unassisted, brings him up to 20 points on the year, which ties him for the team lead with Alex Murray. Didn't see that coming.
Nope.
You thought with the power play, which is still on
Still
now, I have to remember that. So Roger Williams has an opportunity to respond immediately, but they have to be reeling right now, especially their star player, Jared Rizzo, making that mistake at the blue line. He's going to be kicking himself. He had an opportunity to score, and then he gave up the goal as that puck is lifted into the netting. How does that change the momentum for the rest of the way? The only meaningful possession the Anchormen have had in their own attacking zone results in a goal. They've only taken one
They've
shot.
only taken one.
Puck out to the blue line. Intercepted again by Duquette, who's in all sorts of space. One-on-one with Fabrice. Try to go 5-hole again. Kick save.
Fabrice knew it was coming on that one.
Big kick save. 2-0, 2 shorthanded goals would have been backbreaking.
2 shorthanded by the same player.
Within the first 5 minutes of the game. There's 45 seconds still left on this power play for Roger Williams. You would expect that they have the man advantage for over the last minute and 25 seconds. Not a great start for the special teams of Roger Williams, but a picture book start, though, for the Anchormen. It can't get any better than that, especially if they kill off this power play, which they still have 20 seconds to do, as there was a missed one-timer from Frank Zambotti. Zambotti has it once again at the point. Just wrists one in on Tadino, and he covers that up right on his logo, right in the middle of his jersey. Tried going 6-hole, but too bad that's in the middle of his chest.
Yeah,
Not
doesn't
open
work.
ever. Unless you got like a 120-mile-an-hour slap shot. Even then,
Ooh,
you're not
ow.
getting through.
Yeah, no. Oh. Ow.
We need John Brenkus at Sports Science to figure out how fast a slap shot has to be to go through the middle of your chest.
There you go.
Get on it, Sports Science. You do pieces on Marshawn Lynch eating Skittles. Was a great scientific piece, though. Back to the action at hand, though, as the Hawks are down a goal. The Anchormen have the lead. Slap shot from the point. Misses wide. That was taken by Kearney.
Hawks are missing key one-timers. All their one-timers are just going very, very wide of the net.
Skalabinski has it. The power play done for Roger Williams. Disastrous, to say the least. And a whistle goes. Unsure what the call is going to be. The Anchormen still have 4 men on the ice. Now they're up to 5. As David Cook skates out of the penalty box, down with our friend Nathan Bissell, who's working our ice level cam. Back out of a moderate retirement.
Welcome back, Nate Bissell.
Now going over to the penalty box. Missed it. Brandon Hassel going into the sin bin. So the Anchormen picked up another quick penalty, and they're on the penalty kill once again. And if you're an avid watcher of RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV, there's too many men on the ice was the call. But if you're an avid watcher of RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV, you know you're rarely going to see 5-on-5 hockey tonight. Get ready for a lot of special teams.
But that was one of Coach Cal's keys to the game again. He doesn't want to see, with so many of these guys that aren't playing tonight, such as Zach Cordero with his injury, Jersey Polak isn't playing, got thrown out last game. Those are key penalty-killing guys who aren't on the ice tonight. So one of Coach Cal's huge keys was stay out of the box as much as you possibly can.
I didn't know at the time. I saw Jersey Polak in the loop on the Rhode Island College campus giving someone a jump. I had a great line planned if he was on the ice tonight. Found out he wasn't playing. That line goes to waste.
Vinny just made an amazing save right there.
As a great man once said in a Minnesota all-hockey hair team video, you got to read it, not write it, buddy. And that's what I got to do. As we're going to have a delayed penalty, I believe that's hooking on the Anchormen, so they'll go down to 5-on-3.
Mark Natalizia goes to the box.
So outside of the one goal the Anchormen have scored through Nathan Duquette, not an ideal start. Have been on the penalty kill for most of the game. They've done a good job. They have 1 minute and 10 seconds of 5-on-3, and then there'll be 50 more seconds of 5-on-4 hockey. Alex Nadiger has to come in to take the face-off. So the Anchormen forming a wall right in front of Tadino's net. That's a great opportunity down low, and a big save as Mitchell.
Big save.
Mitchell was standing right on the doorstep. He could have just taken a big breath and blown that puck into the back of the net. Couldn't direct it on frame. Well, he did direct it on frame with his stick, but it was right into Tadino. Big save. Skalabinski rockets one off the boards, kept in acrobatically by Williamson, I believe. Has to do with the job again, and he can't, so that's going to just dribble all the way to the other end of the ice. Williamson has the puck now, camped out in his own area. No pressure put on by the Anchormen. They're going to sit back and absorb. Max Waske down the left wing, taking it into the faceoff circle, drops it for Williamson at the point, goes cross ice. Rizzo in all sorts of pace. Rister blocked on its path. Still loose shot comes in from Mitchell, and Tadino covers it up right on the end line. Another good save by Tadino. Tough angle for Mitchell to find the back of the net, but it's an effort that Tadino needed to stop as the Anchormen send out 2 fresh new bodies. And this is the last thing they want, to not only be down numbers on the ice, they're already down numbers on the bench. They need to try and conserve as much energy as they can. And if you're Roger Williams, you're just trying to move these guys around, make them skate, wear those legs out, and hopefully in the third period you have a distinct advantage in terms of fitness. Puck in the slot, kicked away down low. Mitchell right across the face of goal. Huber's in some space. Williamson has to skate back. He's on his horse. Huber just fires one in. Kick saved by Fabrice. Long rebound that he pokes into the path of Borman. Borman's going to burst forward. He'll start the attack for the Hawks, who are making changes. Borman takes it in the corner, cycles it behind the net. Coming down, Huber gets his stick on it, but kept in at the point. That's Zambati. Went cross ice, nearly found the tape of DePietro. DePietro wraps around, and that's poked away by Huber. Still loose behind. With it now is Bina. Bina up top to Zambati, who miscontrolled. So now Roger Williams has to retreat. And now we're 5-on-4 at the moment that first penalty went. There's 22 seconds left on the power play. The Anchormen have been doing a great job killing off these penalties. Zambati, slapper, misconnect there. Got a big chunk of the ice before he got the puck. Zambati knocks that down out of midair. Could have been a high stick call. Zambati goes body to body with Hassel. Went a little high there, though. That was shoulder to head area. Yeah. If NHL Director of Player Safety Brendan Shanahan would have seen that, the principal point of contact would have been Hassel's.
5 games.
It was close. Not a huge hit. And Zambati, He's going to go into the box, I believe, for the initial high sticking. There's still 4 seconds left on the power play for Roger Williams. So it'll be 1 minute and 56 seconds of 5-on-4 for the Anchormen coming in just a moment. Puck still sits on the faceoff circle, cleared down the ice, so the Anchormen back to full strength. Roger Williams down a man. And we haven't seen 5-on-5 hockey in about 6.5 minutes.
But it's a RIC Hockey Friday.
It would be weird if it was 5-on-5, but that was nearly intercepted by Cutter in the attacking zone in front, directed just wide. Kelly on the stretch just got a stick on it. How ironic would it have been if Roger Williams would have scored a shorthanded goal of their own as Murray comes forward, squares up, drops it off for his teammate Duquette. Just poked it into the slot. No one was there for the Anchormen. Huber's going to keep this in with his skate. Now he has it on his tape. Dumps it off down low to the half boards. Anchorman wrapping around. Good feed by Bathgate, trying to lift that one in the top of the net was Duquette, and that was blocked away by Fabrice. So line change for the Anchormen. Their power play, the umbrella formation that they set up on the power play. Brian Luther, one of the team captains, will skate in to take this faceoff, square it off against Gover. At the point, Skalabinski off the glass, around the boards, down low, on his stick is Murphy. Jack Voney got his body into Murphy. Skalabinski off the boards, off the skate. I believe that's Luther down there, squared it in front. Jack Voney couldn't get his tape on it. This is Luther, excuse me. That was Daniels on the far side. Nadiger back to Luther at the half boards to the end line. Jack Voney wrapping around. That's like Marchand. We got a pronunciation change today, so stick with me. It's going to take a week or two to cement that. Daniels on the half board, squared it into the slot. Jack Voney couldn't get his stick on it. And that saucered away on the backhand all the way down the other end of the ice to Dino. Drops it off for Skalabinski, forward to Daniels at the blue line. Missed his pass. Coming forward now is Borman on the left wing up against the boards. Tries to skate away from Skalabinski. And the big man gets back with some help from Daniels. Good back check there by the Anchormen. Cross-ice feed off the tape of Duquette. And coming out of the box is Zambati. So now we're 5-on-5. We'll see how long that lasts. Michael Knox had it taken away. His pass was intercepted by Skalabinski. Dumped in behind the boards by Bathgate. One-timer blocked by Fabrice. That was a great effort from Nadiger.
Very good effort.
Didn't get all of it, but enough to put Fabrice under some pressure. And Roger Williams
playing at his highest level that the coaches have seen him play since he started
Demers
2 years ago.
In front of the Zamboni doors, into the slot, shot on the spin. That came from Waski, saved by Tadino. Skalabinski tries to clear it off the boards forward. Duquette couldn't get a stick on it. Another big hit at the blue line. Losing a stick was Demers.
Really close to yelling yard sale on that one.
And the whistle goes once again, and the Anchormen will be on the penalty kill. And we'll get a word with Coach Calcione during the first intermission, and I have a feeling special teams will come up once again.
I feel like he should just prepare for that before every interview from now on. Just, hey, special teams, it's going to get talked about.
So Ricky Pannone, he's in the sin bin for 2 minutes. So taking the face off for Roger Williams, Jared Rizzo skates in. Alex Murray in there for the Anchormen, who will have to defend another penalty. And Rizzo gets booted, coming in as Waski. So Roger Williams on another power play. They've had a few of these this afternoon. But the scoreboard is in favor of the Anchormen. That took a huge deflection, just a wrist shot from Williamson that I believe hit off an Anchorman on its way. Again, that's loose in front. Huber alert, kicked it away from the crease. Tadino under siege, slap shot from Williamson, and he gratefully grasps that up against his chest. All of a sudden, Roger Williams has come alive offensively. Shot took a huge deflection. Tadino able to get in front of it, and then another slap shot from just outside the faceoff circle. Lingered around that right-handed post of Tadino, but Huber was alert and got it out of that dangerous area. Williamson at the point, dumps it down to the half board, gets it right back in the slot, high slot, and that's intercepted by Skalabinski. Poke check from Mitchell. He's working hard down by the Zamboni doors. Dumps it to the end line. Borman in front. Waski was there and lighting the lamp is Jared Rizzo at the back post. right in that garbage area and wristed that one right over the shoulder of Tadino into the roof of the net. Pannone springs out of the penalty box. And we're back to honors even at 1-1, 7:51 left here in the first period. And this game's going at the tempo exactly how we expected.
Exactly, yep. Nothing out of the ordinary for a Rhode Island College Roger Williams game.
Big hits, penalties, goals.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot more of them.
Yeah.
We have a ton of action here left to go. We're still about just over halfway done with the first period. And if you're lucky, you may even see some extra hockey tonight, free hockey. As they like to say, that's a big interception by Cutter on the far board. Has a man with him, decides to go alone. Wrist shot saved, long rebound. Came out nicely for Kelly, and his wrist shot was denied by Tadino. But again, the puck in the attacking zone of Roger Williams quite often as Tadino covers that puck up, grabbed it with the glove portion of his blocker pad. But the Anchormen need to be careful. They've had a couple good opportunities. Roger Williams has had more of those good goal-scoring opportunities. They've taken one, but those long rebounds from Tadino needs to keep them close. One of the best goalkeepers in club hockey in the Northeast is Vinny Tadino. Daniels down the center, goes out wide. Hassel into the slot, try to find Daniels, who was crashing the net. Another big hit behind Fabrice's net. Anchormen forecheck pressure, keeping the Hawks hemmed in their own defensive zone. Caught underneath the skates of Stowe. Finally gets it away and behind. On the far side with it is Stuckman. Cross-ice feed off the skate of Cutter. Nicely knocked onto his tape. Wrister saved right into the chest of Tadino. A little pushing and shoving between Cutter and Martinelli, and Daniels comes over. He's got to get in there as well. And as we said, this will be chippy, and it's starting to show.
It's one of the things that Coach Cal gave us a whole bunch of game notes on all the players. He said about Daniels, he needs to be able to keep his cool and not let it get into his head. We saw last time we had a RIC Hockey Friday, got tossed out in the game against Westfield. That's what happened to Jersey Polak against Westfield. The entire team needs to make sure to keep their cool and no one gets kicked out tonight.
Working on the penalty box door right below us. Winning the draw is Roger Williams. Taking it down in the corner is Bina. Up top to the point. Knox fires it in front. Tadino's on his back and unable to pull the trigger was Connor DiPietro. Won't have an easier opportunity to score a goal probably in his life.
Yeah. I could have scored.
Did a nice job setting it up. The puck just wouldn't settle for him as Pannone skates right through a hip check from Zaro. Behind the net, Huber's taken off his feet by Gover. Puck at the half board, shoveled on forwards. Here comes Gover down the right wing, has a man with him. That's DiPietro. Gover taken off his feet by Bathgate. On the back check, the Anchormen have it. Pannone tries to skate inside of Joseph Bina. Puck on the end line with Tadino. Backhands it off the glass into the path of Huber. Huber slows it down off the boards to Martinelli, lifts it into the neutral zone, and that's corralled by Williamson. They're going to say, I think that hit the roof on its way. So 5:49 left in the first period. Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you the action this Friday night on RIC Hockey Fridays. 1-1 hockey game. Short-handed goal from Nathan Duquette was canceled out by Jared Rizzo. I know that's going to be a penalty for Roger Williams. Going into the box is Ian Mitchell.
And once again, we're back on special teams.
So the Anchormen on the power play once again. They had one earlier that they were unable to convert. Natalizia with it. He came back onto the team a few weeks ago. You saw his debut on RIC Hockey Fridays. Has worked his way all the way up into the first line. That newly formed first line. The last time we were here, Duquette, Murray, and Bathgate were firing on all cylinders. They made up most of the points that the Anchormen have scored on the year up until that point, but now that line is broken up. Murray still on the first line, but his line mates have dropped down to the second line, and he had to get to that puck in front of Cutter, where Cutter would have had a shorthanded opportunity. Murray brings it into the zone, fired it into the slot. Duquette had it poked away by Zambati, I believe, who got there. Excuse me, that was Dylan Zaro. Off the skate of Murray. Murray just fires it in, and that's kicked away by Fabrice. Speculative effort, but Fabrice had to get it away. Huber down low in the corner. Puck on the end line, squared in front. Wrist shot from Natalizia. Puck still loose. Fabrice couldn't corral it. Natalizia has it, wraps around the net. Try to square it in front for Huber. Huber working hard. He's going to re-reverse around the net. Wraparound shot saved by Fabrice. And finally, the Hawks get it away. Tadino comes way out of his crease to fire it forwards. Keep the pressure on the Hawks with 38 seconds remaining on this power play. Off the boards, Bathgate drops it back for Murray. That's loose. That's going to kill some more clock on this power play. Good job on the penalty kill for Roger Williams to this point. Bathgate into the neutral zone, across the red line, skates it into his attacking zone on the backhand through the slot, dumps it off for the one-timer effort from Duquette, and that was blocked up into the netting. But you can see Bathgate, the creator, does a great job setting up his teammates. Nearly found another assist, but a good block by the Hawks there, getting in front.
That's what he's been
Duquette.
doing all season. He is able to just find the open players on the ice that I feel like other guys on the ice don't even see that they're open. He just has such good eyes.
Sees the game like a great chess player does, one or two moves ahead of his opponent. It's what sets you apart if you're a passer or if you're a great chess player. You have to see the entire board, you have to see the entire game and be ahead of your opponent.
You're a good chess player there, Jared?
No, I saw that movie about Robert Fisher, and that's what his dad always said to him. Robert Fisher, who's not allowed in the United States, one of the world's best chess player, one of the United States' best ever chess player, not allowed on U.S. soil, will get arrested immediately if he comes. I think he's in Iceland somewhere. As that shot nearly squirts through Tadino.
I think he laid on it.
I think that's his water bottle that ended up in the back of the net. For a second there, I thought that squirted through. You saw some object hit the back of the net. Luckily, that was his water bottle falling off the top of the net, not the puck. Power play over for Roger Williams, but not before a brief scare. 3:38 left in the first period. Jared Rizzo wins the faceoff. Nearly had a wrist shot come straight away. Puck still loose in front. That's Skalabinski who got down onto his chest to poke that off the tape of Rizzo. There's a shot in there from Wisniewski as well. Williamson tried to get a pass off, just misconnected on that one. Went D to his partner in crime, Kearney. Skalabinski skating down into the corner, working hard. Rizzo has it through the face-off circle. Getting down on the ice was Nadiger. Took away the shooting lane. He had to go across the ice to Wisniewski. Wisniewski had his pocket picked just a moment ago. Skating across the red line is Luther, but a good job getting his body into him was Michael Knox. Battle right on the blue line as Murray had his head snapped up against the boards there. Another big hit. That was Wisniewski throwing his body around. Mitchell takes it across the blue line, halts up, drops it off for Rizzo. All sorts of white sweaters around him. Big hit against the board. Slapper in front. Puck got kicked away. Believe that was Jack Voney who got down there, went body to body with Rizzo. Behind the net, Nadiger saucers it forwards, and this is going to be gloved down by Michael Knox. Murray has it with his facing his own goal, backhands it to the red line. Knox keeps it in, right back to Murray in the neutral zone. And the puck goes out of play into the Anchorman bench. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first period. Exciting stuff.
Just want to say, it's been a pretty fun first period.
For a 1-1 game, this has been one of the games that's had some of the most action we've seen. Outside of that PC game, which had like 35 goals. Daniels came across, tried to lay out. Kevin Murphy got more glass than man.
Him and Jack Voney are both playing through shoulder injuries. They knew that they had to play in these games. They're toughing it out, and they're still hitting.
You wouldn't know the way those two guys are throwing their body around that they're playing with any sort of injury, playing with reckless abandon as Huber had to get to the puck in front of Joseph Bina. Rifled forward off the stick of Hassel into the path of Daniels. He had it poked away. Coming forward is Gover. Knocks it on past Martinelli. Has it down in the corner. Wrapping around. Goes to the end line shot. Wrist shot right from the slot. Saved by Tadino. DiPietro. Another point blank effort. Has it again in the slot. Wrist shot charged down by Huber. Anchorman still unable to clear. Gover squares it in front and unable to direct it into the net was Bina. Another big save from Tadino. DiPietro on the spin. That was Gover. That was just wide. Laying siege is his second line for Roger Williams. They've taken about 5 shots, and they've kept the puck in the attacking zone for the last minute and a half. Martinelli finally gets the puck clear, tries to saucer it into the neutral zone, and he does. So the pressure relieved for the Anchormen for just a moment. But here comes another attack from Roger Williams. Is down on the ice is Ant Daniels. Puck went right across the end line, and I think that clipped the post as Tadino tried to make a save, hit the back of his glove. And finally, the Anchormen cleared all the way to the other end of the ice. 30 seconds remaining, or just over 30 seconds remaining. That'll be icing. It'll come right back down to the attacking zone of the Anchormen. But Roger Williams is making a case for themselves, or a good claim that they should be up 2-1 heading in to the second period.
I don't even know if it could be 2. It could be so much more than just 2-1 in this game with some of the opportunities that they've had.
Roger Williams has like 7 guys on the ice right now. Finally, they get their personnel set. 3 men skate off. We're back to 5-on-5. Puck loose in front. Backhand effort in the slot. Puck still loose. Finally covered up by Tadino. It was Wisniewski who was looking to wrist one or backhand one into the back of the net. Tadino, though, rose to the occasion. 30 seconds exactly left in the first period of an exciting RIC Hockey Friday conference showdown. Rhode Island College needs this one. They're 4-8 on the year, 1-3 in the conference. But they've played less games in the conference than everyone else. But if you end up losing those games that you have in hand, it doesn't matter. Poked away from Mitchell. That's Murray working hard, doing a great job defensively for the Anchormen. Bursting forward. This is Natalizia showing that speed, but taken off the puck by Knox, who did a good job getting back. Full ice pass nearly intercepted by the Anchormen. Dumped in. Rizzo tracking it down. Skalabinski got a piece of him. And pirouetting around Nadiger was Ian Mitchell. Whistle goes from the ref. 0.8 seconds remaining. And it looks like Brian Luther picked up a penalty right before the end of the first period.
The refs are, it's a Rick Roger Williams game. Like every other conference game we've seen, the refs are going to try to control it. They're going to call those interference calls that maybe they wouldn't necessarily call in other games, but they need to do something to keep games under control. So
this puck will get dropped. They'll touch it up, and then the period will be over. We'll go into the second period. The Anchormen will be on the penalty kill. Huber is going to skate in as Bathgate got kicked out. Rizzo lost the draw to Huber. And that's it here in the first period. 1 goal from Duquette, shorthanded. A response from Jared Rizzo for Roger Williams, and we stand at 1-1 as we'll take a quick break. And Sam Allen will be back with the intermission report with assistant coach Anthony Calcione. Don't you dare go anywhere here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV.
Sam Allen here with assistant coach Anthony Calcione. Cal, it's been a tough few weeks for you and your team. You've dropped a couple big games. How are you feeling?
Well, I mean, no one likes to lose. That's the bottom line. We got to find a way to bury games. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot, and a lot of it's mental mistakes. You look, for instance, right now, we're shorthanded, and yeah, a couple of bad calls in that period, but a couple of ones, stupid penalties. You got a short bench. Now you're asking, we only got about 4 penalty killers left, and they're skating the majority of that period, so they're already too tired.
You're talking about how you're down, you are short a lot of guys. Talk about those injuries and how you guys are playing with such short bench.
Well, I mean, we played with a lot less before. That was pretty much all the pregame speech was. We played way back in the day, in the good old days. We were showing up to games with 5, 6, 7 guys. The only reference I gave them is you're never done until the game's over. We showed up. UVM was nationally ranked number 3 at the time. They blew us out the first time we played them. We played them with 8 guys, and we ended up beating them and knocking them out of the Nationals. So you're never out. I mean, it was example that period. They took us lightly, and we came out hard. Juki buried one, sets a good tone.
Are you trying to kind of use the same stuff that you had in the old days, the good old days, as you called them, that UVM game? Is the team kind of looking and being like, hey, you know what? If Cal and his teammates were able to do it back then, he's our coach now, we can kind of do it now?
Yeah. What I told him was we didn't have nearly the amount of talent we had. This team has. There's no doubt about it. Realistically, Chris came in for that locker room. Chris doesn't get loud, doesn't really get motivated. He's always talking about systems. He's kind of like a hockey savant, I call him. He came in. He didn't talk a single thing about game. He said he wanted everyone laying on the line. everyone blocking shots, everyone hitting, and that's all I preached today. A lot of block shots that period. Natty got caught one right in the face, came back to the bench smiling, going, "Coach, does that count?" So you're never out. I mean, back then, we actually played the whole second, third period with 5 guys. So we were just told, you're staying out there all game. If you need a breather, ice the puck and try to catch your wind. So if we end up with 5 guys, we end up with 5 guys. It's been done before.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
For everyone's sake that we don't end up with 5 guys today. So now going back down there, what do you think the biggest thing for the Anchormen to do within the next 2 periods? You guys can come out on top.
You got to believe that you can win. That's the bottom line. As soon as you start doubting yourself and doubting your game, they're already won. You get down a goal, you get down 2 goals, doesn't matter. We were down 3-0 to UVM that day, and we came back and beat them 5-3. So you can't give up on yourself. That's the biggest thing.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Cal.
Sam.
All right. We'll be back with the second period and more RIC Hockey Friday, brought to you by Anchor TV.
Back here in the Dennis M. Lynch Arena, getting you ready for the second period of an in-conference, in-state rivalry matchup. It's the 4-8 Rhode Island College Anchormen, who are 1-3 in the conference, taking on the 6-5-1 Roger Williams University Club hockey team, the Hawks, who are 4-2 inside the conference. And the Anchormen, as we mentioned, right at the bottom of the conference standings. They have a couple games in hand on the rest of the conference, but as we mentioned, you need to win those to make up the advantage that you have in that sense. Shorthanded goal from Nathan Duquette, canceled out by Jared Rizzo. Zebra right on the red line, and we're set to go once again as Rizzo taking up a defensive position at the moment as the Anchormen are in the penalty. And Roger Williams is on the power play. Rizzo squared one in front, tried to just knock one in the path of Mitchell. It's poked away by Murray. He's in open ice. Flying back is Borman. Murray, shot saved. Borman gets there first on the long, juicy rebound. Knocks it away. Kept in the attacking zone and taken off the stick. Rizzo bursting forward. Stole it from Natalizia. Backhands it into the path of Mitchell. Mitchell takes it to the end line, skating across. Pokes it in front of Tadino. Tadino way out of his crease. The puck still loose. He finally covers it up. Knocks it on for Huber. Far point, Williamson drops it down to Mitchell, skates around right outside of the face-off circle, dumped it down for Borman. Williamson keeps it right on the blue line. Rizzo, near point, D to D. Williamson right at the half boards, dumps it down low, gets it right back. Williamson skates in the slot, fires a wrister in front. Mitchell got a stick on it, couldn't redirect it, and it finds the back of the net coming in. That was Zach Borman. Mitchell was right in front of Tadino. Big screen, long rebound that slipped between the legs of Mitchell, and Borman was the first to respond. And the pressure and the discipline pays off for Roger Williams as they've had a bunch of power plays at this point. And you can make the case that it wasn't really a penalty on Luther in the first period, but the whistle went, the Anchorman went down. You can only kill off so many penalties. It's just the law of averages that if you're going to be playing with 4 men against 5, eventually you're going to give up a goal. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the Anchorman did a great job killing off penalties up until that point. So the 2 goals from Roger Williams have come on rebounds. Rizzo wristed home the first, and there's another penalty on the Anchorman, delayed as Skalabinski touches up. And right on cue, Pannone goes back to the penalty box. Has a few words in the direction of the ref. Needs to be careful. The last thing the Anchormen need is to lose another man, even though Coach Calcione came here in the intermission and said they could play with 5 or 6 guys. Realistically, you can. Can you be competitive with 5 or 6 guys? It's up for debate.
Very true.
18:31, Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you the action here on RIC Hockey Fridays as Rizzo skates in to take the draw now. He's been doing a little bit of everything for Roger Williams. Skalabinski needs to go off the ice, so the Anchormen have 4. 2 minutes of a power play for Roger Williams once again. Down in the corner, Mitchell. Cross, one-timer, just goes wide. Waski was posted up right on the face-off dot. Shot just went wide, back up top. Williamson keeps it in on the stretch, fires it right through the slot in front. It got knocked away. Rizzo into the neutral zone, restarting the attack. Coming over, Borman was offside. So the whistle will go, and that's a little bit of a reprieve for the Anchormen. 1 minute and 38 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Burgundy and Gold. Both men whiff on the initial draw that face off, and that's cleared down to the far end of the ice by Nadiger. That clock keeps ticking down. Under a minute and 30 left on the power play. Lifting the stick there is Duquette. Wrister saved by Fabrice. Nearly another costly turnover by Rizzo. He fell asleep, which gave up the opportunity for the first goal to Duquette. And Duquette nearly picked his pocket again. So even though Rizzo has the goal, his plus-minus right now is not great. Mitchell has it on the end line. Drops it off behind. With it is Waski. Waski goes to the far corner, back up top to the point. Williamson, slapper, goes wide. Careens into the boards. Bathgate, he whips it off the boards, and they're alive as that finds its way into the neutral zone. Duquette picks up the puck, comes near side. Bathgate tried to knock it past the defender. That was Rizzo. 35 seconds left on the power play for Roger Williams. They have the 1-goal lead that's slapped on by Borman. He cuts inside. Rizzo bearing down on Tadino's net, and he buries it. Glove side. What a finish by Jared Rizzo. We had a great angle on that one. Coming in onto his favorite left hand on the move. Fired it between the gap between the leg pad and the glove of Tadino, and it's 3-1. And it's another power play goal for Roger Williams. So if you're the Anchormen, you're telling yourselves that these goals can be avoided if we stay with 5 guys on the ice. And Duquette goes right back in. So the Anchormen,
they're on this whole go out, go back in.
16:56 left in the second period. They have yet to have 5 guys on the ice.
And they've had 3 different guys in the box.
Mental mistakes piling up for the Anchormen. What was a 1-goal lead earlier in this game has now flipped on its head. And Roger Williams, though, in the position of having the most dangerous lead in all of hockey, a 2-goal lead. So stupid. Gover skates across the red line, dumps it forward on the backhand. Martinelli couldn't corral the bouncing puck, gets it down in the far corner. Up against the boards in the corner. He's working hard, but coming away with it out of the scrum was DiPietro. DiPietro skates all the way to the other corner and dumps it behind for Gover to chase down. Huber was all over Gover, took it away for a moment, having to go down on his knee to keep it in was Kearney. Puck loose across the faceoff circle. Bina knocks it around. DiPietro left it for Gover. He wraps around, fires it in front. Puck glove down, and Bina nearly had it left on a plate by DiPietro. Slapper from the point. Knox had it knocked down. Long rebound. Rister didn't get a good piece of that. Did Gover. Knox off the boards into the corner. Bina down on the ice. Martinelli looking to take away the passing lane. No one knows where the puck is. Martinelli finds it first. That's just barely kept in by Kearney. Huber knocks it around Kearney. Neutral zone, good feed onto the tape of Jack Voney. Jack Voney onto his shooting side. Wrist shot saved by Fabrice.
And I think the Hawks are going to get a penalty now.
So the Anchormen are finally bailed out as a
interference.
penalty for interference will go on Jake Kearney. He'll head into the box for 2. So it's 4-on-4 for 27 seconds. So the Anchormen finally at full strength. This will be the first action of this period where they'll be at full strength. And then they'll have a power play of their own. Skalbinski slapper, gloved down by Fabrice, long rebound. Bathgate couldn't latch onto it, still has it, back up to the point. Skalbinski kicked it too far out of his range, and the hand of the ref goes up. And Bathgate needs to keep his cool here as he had a word with the ref as he skated by, and he goes head first into the boards. Nadiger and Cutter, and that's a flop by Nadiger.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah. Sorry, Nadiger. That's a good one, though.
That was his artistic impression of what getting knocked onto the ice would look like. You got to call it. Got to call it fair either way if I saw another team take a dive. So Cutter, the box door was open. Nadiger, I believe, will get called for simulation. And it looks like Cutter as well is going to go in. lost in the shuffle. Now, the fact of the matter is, Bathgate, though, as he skated across the red line, did have words with the ref. He needs to be careful. He's been ejected from a couple games. Just needs to keep a lid on it. No need to go to the locker room early. You're a great player, great creator.
Someone the Inkerman need on the ice.
As we get a look now into the penalty box, into the face of Nadiger. Now back onto the ice as Luther and the captain, Michael Knox, for the Hawks are having words right at the red line. The refs are talking things over. We said, did we mention this game was going to get chippy?
I think just a couple times. Yeah, just a few.
So now they're just figuring out the time on each of these, and they've got to make sure that the scoreboard is in unison with what's happening, which is a difficult task. We've seen that many weekends. Not easy to sync those two things up. But the goals have come from Jared Rizzo, who we mentioned is a great goal scorer. He's now into double digits with 10 goals on the year, which brings him up to 14 points. 2 from Rizzo, 1 from Borman, and they all came after the initial opening goal from Duquette, which came from a man down. And Alex Rosniak throws a water bottle that makes it all the way across the ice. Nadiger is going to get a nice refreshing burst of H2O while he's down there with our cameraman Nate Bissell. Getting crowded. And again, we're still talking things over. Official score, head ref. Everyone needs to be on the same page. So Cutter calls his teammate over. He wants to have a word with Sean Williamson.
Yeah, I think he's like, hey, he got a water. I want one.
We're still talking things over. If you at home, if you can't figure it out at this point.
It's just, I'm still laughing about Nadiger. Maybe now we could bring in Coach Cal's keys to the game.
Yeah, we haven't hit on the cold hard facts.
All right.
With this break in the action, let's send it to Sam Allen with assistant coach Anthony Calcione's cold hard facts.
Oh yeah, short
you
bench
were way out of unison
means
there.
Short shifts. The Anchorman, he said they need to maintain momentum and avoid getting fatigued, which is hard when they're constantly on a penalty kill. Number 2, play Cal hockey. They need to be able to.
Like California?
No, like Coach Cal.
Like Coach Calcione.
Like Coach Cal. Block shots,
They
grind
probably
out
don't
those
play.
loose
I don't even
pucks.
think Cal has a hockey team. Why would the Cal Bears have a hockey team?
This is an ironic one. More than ever, stay out of the penalty box.
That hasn't happened.
They need to get comfortable in roles that they're not used to. Those guys who don't necessarily need to hit. The ones who might lack in speed need to try to be as speedy as possible. And last but not least, bring your hard hats and lunch boxes because this is going to be a working man's game.
And it has been. It's been physical. Guys looking for nice kill shots when they can. We've seen a lot of big hits up against the board in the open ice. Some yapping, some extracurricular activity.
Just a few.
It has been a working man's game. Hopefully these guys brought their lunch pail. As again, we are still talking
still
these breaks are outrageous.
Yeah.
So I think he's just letting the captains know the situation as Williamson skates away from the meeting of the minds. Now Luther skates away as well as Michael Knox. So we've got everything figured out. Those guys will report back to their respective benches.
Fill everyone in on all what's going on, and then we'll get back to some hockey.
Eventually we'll have. Now I believe we're going to be looking at 3-on-3.
I would assume there's 2 and 2. Usually 5 minus 2 is 3. Oh.
Williamson coming back.
Because they're so confused.
He needs more clarification
like,
on what's going on.
Hold on a minute.
We need the same clarification up here.
Yeah, I think they should turn around and give it to us.
Eventually, we will restart. There's more hockey to be played here tonight.
This would be the good time, like, go. I'm hoping someone gonna got a snack by now. Take that bathroom break. It's like a commercial break. We just don't have commercials.
So now the refs are reporting to the Anchorman's penalty box, as you see there on the screen.
Who else is in the box for the Anchorman?
So Nathan Duquette is the other Anchorman in the penalty box.
It's been so long, I forgot.
Our on-site spotter here. First time we have one of those. So
right,
finally,
the Hawks are ready to get back to some action.
Roger Williams has 5 skaters on the ice. The Anchormen will send out their hand in just a moment. Huber, Luther look like they'll be going out there. Martinelli pops out of the box as well. The Anchormen still setting up their personnel.
I think Coach Chris is still trying to figure out how many guys he is allowed out. I just saw him ask the ref 4 or 5.
Skalabinski made it all the way to the blue line before tracking back towards his bench, so he's unsure if he's going to be one of the selected skaters to go back out of this stoppage, which has been the length of pretty much an intermission.
Yeah.
15:01 remaining in the second period. 3-1 hockey game. 2 goals in the period. Both have been scored by Roger Williams. Zach Borman with the first. The second was Jared Rizzo's second of the afternoon. So the Anchormen send out 3 skaters. Martinelli, Natalizia, as well as Ryan Huber are on the ice. There's 5 Hawks, and each team has 2 members of their team in the penalty box. So if you're keeping score at home, 4 in the penalty box, split evenly 2 and 2. You got 5 Hawks on the ice and 3 Anchormen on the ice. And a partridge in a pear tree.
Well,
we're still working out the administrative.
You're so no, but I was in here already.
So now the penalty clocks on the Roger Williams side have been wiped clean. That's not a good thing. Mass confusion.
Coach Cal should have given us a few more keys to the game.
His keys, though, they're always right on point.
They are.
Usually they revolve around special teams, which is so important. The Anchormen, though, have been on the wrong end as Ant Daniels, he skates across. So now we have 3 Anchormen in the penalty box, 2 Roger Williams Hawks.
It's just a party in the penalty box right now.
Nate Biss, our cameraman down there on scene, he's got no space to operate down there.
The players have no space.
Ant Daniels is right on top of him, and now we got a Blair Witch Project situation going on with his camera. As Biss had to jump up onto the bench. Very ingenuitive of him.
Give me those big words. And yeah.
Definitive lull in the action, which is beneficial for the Anchormen, a chance for them to get a blow, rest some of their legs as they're playing with the shorter bench out of the 2 teams. So a nice period for them to rejuvenate.
I think it's been like 10 minutes. How long am I in the box?
Now you can kind of hear on our effects mic, both the Roger Williams skaters are wondering, how long am I in here for? When do I get to come out?
There's a whole bunch of confusion. Yeah, it's been about 10 minutes since that first initially happened.
So Fabrice, he's got his mask off. He's taking some water, taking a second. I mean, this is getting ridiculous now.
Like, let's just play some hockey. Come on.
Now Roger Williams has just 3 men on the ice as well. So Williamson is over by his bench on the ice. He's not off the ice, though, at the moment.
Luther comes back on the ice.
Popped out onto the ice. Still trying to figure out this situation. Coach Quinn is getting a word. We'll have to ask him about exactly what's going on as he'll come up for the second intermission report. He's not going to be too happy with his team's performance in the second period. They've yet to be at full strength. They've had even numbers for only a few minutes. And they've given up 2 goals, which has seen a tie game evolve into a 3-1 lead for the Hawks.
Now the Hawks have only 4 guys on the ice.
So 4 on the ice for the Hawks, 3 on the ice for the Anchormen. Remember what hockey looks like? Well, it's what's going on the ice, if some of you forgot. Duquette comes out onto the ice, and we're 4 on 4. Martinelli has it in his defensive zone. Pass it in the neutral zone, intercepted by Rizzo. Rizzo skates away from Huber on the far left wing. Cuts inside, fires a wrist shot, long, juicy rebound, poked away. Huber was there, blocker save as Williamson's drive from the point was bearing down onto Dino. Got a piece of it, but a great job by Huber getting there in front of Borman. Both of those guys were crashing the net. Huber got to the puck first. So Duquette, after spending a while in the penalty box, is off the ice. He goes onto the bench. Pannone skates in to take the faceoff, wins the draw. Knox backhands it forward, cycles it behind the boards, behind the net. Knox has it on the far side, right up against the boards. Huber had it for a moment, had his pocket picked by Mitchell. Huber tried using his body to shield it from Mitchell. Rister saved by Tadino, still long and loose in front. Let's move down to the end line. In the corner with it now is Stowe. Stowe trying to skate away from Huber. And unable to keep that in was Zaro. So he just knocked it forwards. Puck loose in no man's land, and getting there first was Stowe, showing some speed and acceleration. Tried to square it for Mitchell. Had it poked away off his stick, though, as he was wrapping around by Martinelli. Did Stowe. Up against the boards, and that's knocked around by Mitchell. Takes it to the end line, slows up, squares up, and then had it poked away by Huber. Working hard down against the boards was Knox. Got it possession back. Mitchell taking off his feet. No whistle. Puck still loose. Tadino covers it up as getting in on the fracas on the far side was James Stowe. Save and a break in the action. There's a loose stick. That's Martinelli's. He gets up slowly.
Looked like he was holding his neck a little bit when he got up.
Finally gets a pep in his step and heads his way to the bench as the Anchormen put 4 new skaters on the ice. Skalabinski off the boards. Duquette has it. Aimless pass, or tried to clear it, excuse me. Got it into the neutral zone. Popping out of the box. One Roger Williams skater comes out. Cutter's still in there. So it's now a 5-on-4. Roger Williams with the man advantage. And I believe the Anchormen have 5 more seconds before they get back to full strength for the first time since the first period. Daniels comes out, and it is 5-on-5. Daniels, homing missile, was lining up a shot. Skating away from it is Zambati. Takes it down into the corner. He's got guys with him. Tried to square it in the direction of Gover. Gover, dump pass into the corner behind the net. Bina has it, excuse me. Kept in by Zambati, knocks it up against the glass. Skalabinski missed the puck. Going down, trying to battle for possession was Bina, still kept in the attacking zone by Roger Williams and finally cleared by the Anchormen as Nathan Duquette just fired a cross-ice clearance. Zambati left the puck for his teammate Knox. He got a hit from Daniels. Huber Miss hit that one. Daniels spins and fires it off the board. Zambati has it in his defensive zone. Was looking for the cross-ice feed. Daniels intercepts. Lost his footing. Gets a shot off, but that's just knocked away by Fabrice. Kept in the attacking zone by the anchorman as Duquette backhands it against the boards. Wrapped in front. Duquette had a kick save by Fabrice. He was unsighted. Saw it late. Just got that big leg pad on it. Zambati behind his net, fires it onto the tape of his teammate. Intercepted. Huber. Rister misses high. Zambati off the glass, knocked on into the neutral zone gratefully by the Hawks as Murray fired it forward for a teammate off Huber's stick in the neutral zone. Gover had his pass knocked down. He was looking on the far side of the ice for DiPietro. Duquette, his pass for Natalizia was too far in front. Luther got a stick on it but couldn't take it into the attacking zone. Roger Williams doing a good job battling in the neutral zone. The anchormen struggling to get the puck through it. Murray nearly had it taken away, finally does. Bearing down on the goal is Waski. Waski in front, kicked away by Tadino. He got a stick out there quickly. Here comes Huber. Goes to the far side of the ice for Jagvoni. Natalizia has it. Wraps around the net, slows up, tries to cut away from the defender Stuckman. Those two guys are caught in a scrum. Jagvoni tries to poke it loose. He does. He takes it away from the scrum up top, and he's split his defensive teammates. Goes to the other end of the ice with 10:37 remaining in the period. The anchorman down 2 goals. Puck shoveled right back in front into the slot, and gratefully Martinelli gets there in front of Tadino. Huber bursting forwards, trying to skate away from 2 Hawks. Natalizia has it as he picked up the loose puck. But Stuckman all over him into the glass, finally takes him off his skates. Natalizia lost possession. Trying to cut inside was Demers. Huber was there defensively, and back with it is Rizzo, right in the neutral zone, off the tape of his teammate Kearney, couldn't control it. Rizzo back with it, over the red line, takes it into the attacking zone, into the corner, puts it into the slot, onto the tape, though, of the defender Hassel. Now Hassel bursting forwards, Bathgate with it, slows up at the half boards, tried to whip one into the slot, but it was intercepted by Mitchell. Mitchell, who's a big forward, takes a wrist shot high off the glass, wraps around, kept in though on the far side by Kearney. Into the neutral zone. Rizzo whips around, comes back in, and that's an offside on Ian Mitchell. And we can all catch our breath after some end-to-end stuff.
Wow, that was some up-tempo hockey. That was probably the most up-tempo we've seen all game. I mean, after 10 minutes of standing around, it's like the beginning of the game all over again.
9:28, Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you the action here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV. Roger Williams, who are 6-5-1, 4-2 in the conference, with the 3-1 lead over the 4-8 Anchormen, who currently sit at 1-3 in the conference. So an opportunity for the Anchormen to make up some ground. Shot wristed into the slot. It took a deflection off the stick of Murray. Skalbinski had to get rid of that puck quickly as Stowe was bearing down on him. Skalbinski again has to do a job defensively. This time he puts on the brakes and spins away from Stowe, goes off the glass. It's kicked in and kept in by the Hawks, fired in towards Tadino, kicked it away, long rebound off the boards, behind. Stowe has it, back to his teammate Demers. Rister knocked down. Going down onto the ice was Duquette, just trying to knock that puck clear and get it out of their zone. Losing his stick, able to pick it up though, was Zaro. And then he had it taken away by Pannone. Pannone bearing down on the net, leaves it in front for Duquette, but a good job defensively by Dylan Zaro. Bodies all on the ice in the corner right in front of the Zamboni doors. Whistle went from the ref. And I think we're just going to see a face-off here. Duquette's the last man to get up from that corner. Will be an attacking zone face-off for Roger Williams. Gover will skate in to take it for the Hawks. Luther was there and he won the draw for the Anchormen. Gover has it up against the boards. Taken away by the Anchormen. Luther trying to break forwards. He has it knocked off his stick. Gover tracks back. And then he loses out to Daniels and they come together. Puck is loose, knocked up against the board. Here comes DePietro. Bina there as well. Puck loose. Getting there first was Gover, just barely in front of Huber. Martinelli had his stick lifted there up against the boards by Bina. Bina trapped up against the board. He's in a three-man scrum with Daniels and Martinelli. Puck out to the point. Slap shot. Tadino got a piece of that. That came from Murphy. DePietro bodied into the glass there. Solid hit by Natalizia. Huber has it, reverses his direction. The whistle goes. And that's going to be DePietro who committed the infraction. Initially didn't want to go to the penalty box, wasn't happy. Finally makes his way over to the sin bin, has the door opened up for him by his teammate Cutter, who's still in there. Got to be careful there. That was a huge punch by DePietro up against a glass. You can break your hand doing that. I don't know if you can do it up against this glass.
Yeah.
You probably could.
If it was hard enough, oh yeah.
Well, it just depends if your hand or the glass is going to break first. Or at the same time, who knows? You could break both. So again, we're having a confab here as we're figuring out the penalty situation. This one should be more straightforward. So again, Williamson and Luther are over with the head ref having words. These guys are getting to know each other well. Might know each other by first name basis by the end of the game. We were moving at a brisk pace through the first period. We were jamming.
And then even after that 10-minute intermission, you can call it, we quick, and now we're back.
Just the game reset. Jared Rizzo has 2 goals for the Hawks. Zach Borman has the other. Nathan Duquette, a shorthanded goal for the Anchormen. That's where we stand at 3-1. 2 goals from Roger Williams in this period, which has been a marathon period. Real time, we have to be closing in on 35 minutes for the period, maybe longer than that. Matt Hall.
That's Chris Pachenko.
That's Chris Pachenko, I guess, wearing number 7. He goes into the penalty box. Pachenko, who's a reserve goalkeeper, has to wear the normal pads today just in case he's needed to be in a skater. And we're still talking things over. Like, you would think these would be straightforward at this point. We'll be sticking with you no matter what, no matter how late this game gets out. We'll be with you to the very end.
You might. I may fall asleep.
Roger Williams is talking things over in front of their bench. Natalizia heads to his own bench. The Anchormen are surrounded to Dino. Now the ref is talking to head coach Chris Gwynn, and I think at the end of the storm, it's going to be 4 men on the ice for each team. That is the case. So it's 4-on-4 hockey as Mitchell's shot saved by Tadino. Martinelli is bear hugged by Mitchell, brought to the ice, no call. Puck in the corner. Mitchell comes away with it. Spins away from one man. Puck loose down low. Slapper. Saved by Tadino. Long rebound, and that's corralled by Pannone. Slap shot from Kearney. Dumped forward by Pannone, who gets a hit from Mitchell from behind and then has his stick taken away with a poke check from Pannone. Rizzo forward just too far in front of Mitchell. Delayed whistle. And it's going to be touched up for the icing call as Rizzo nearly split the defense with a pass onto the tape of Mitchell. Just too far. So Bathgate will circle in to take the face-off against Rizzo. Skalabinski at the point, knocks it away from Rizzo, who is bearing down on him. Duquette has it, squares it into the slot. Bathgate tried to kick it down onto his blade. Couldn't control it. That's a good touch by Rizzo to get away from Skalabinski. Rizzo, wrister, and Skalabinski lays his body on the line to charge that shot down. The young freshman doing whatever is necessary defensively, and a good feed. Bathgate's one-on-one. Shot saved by Fabrice artistically on his back, off his foot. Holy Toledo, that's a great save by Fabrice.
Awesome. Even Bathgate was just kind of on the ground like, are you kidding me?
It didn't look pretty from Fabrice. He got the job done. I don't think Bathgate made as much contact as he'd liked with that wrist shot. End-to-end stuff, but we remain 3-1. Both teams with great opportunities. Skalabinski putting that big body on the line as that slap shot is gloved by Tadino. That came from Knox. That was a hot shot that Tadino got the old mitt behind. So Skalabinski heads off to the bench. Bathgate as well. He's going to rue that missed opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's going to haunt him tonight.
The only way it won't if he's able to get on the score sheet and the Anchor men win. Martinelli put under all sorts of pressure by Waski. Puts Martinelli up against the boards. Martinelli gets away from him for a moment, but it's finally taken away by Boardman. Huber, far side of the ice up against the board, just shovels it forwards. It's kept in by Roger Williams, but Boardman couldn't get to it. Zaro collides with Pinot, but knocks the puck on forwards. Both skaters come out, so we're back. Well, it's still 4-on-4 at the moment. Panone off the boards, and Daniels couldn't get there. Gets there, Zaro bodies him into the glass. Puck loose in the corner, both teams scrumming for it. Natalizia has it, wraparound, taken off his stick. Here comes the little man, the speedy Tyler Gover, tries to get away from Pranone, who's equally as fast. Onto the tape of Natalizia. Right over the faceoff dot, wrister, saved by Fabrice. Huber, slapper into the chest of Fabrice, rebound still loose. And finally, Gover comes across the slot and picks up the puck. Alleviates some of the pressure the Anchormen were putting the Hawks under. Gover right across the center circle, up to Bina on the far wing, cuts onto his right-handed shot, had it poked away though in the slot. Murray had the puck poked away there by Williamson, and Murray came across and tried to lay a hit on Williamson as well. As Huber's slow to get up, has ice all up the left side of his pants and sock. And that's going to be a penalty against Gover, and he's going to go to the penalty box for 2 minutes. So the power play for the Anchormen will take us to 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the second period. Jared Ware, Sam Allen, we're still with you here on Anchor TV.
A long night.
The Anchormen with the numbers advantage at the moment. They're down 2 goals. They need something here. Murray at the point on the ice there. A man was in front of him, making it tough. Stowe taking away the shooting angle. Puck loose in the slot. Huber has it. Immediately rotates the puck to the far side. Bathgate tried to put it into the danger area with Duquette there. Cleared away by the Hawks. Southed forward by Tadino. Williamson checks his surroundings, touches up the puck, saucers it right back to Tadino. He blocks it down and away into the corner. Huber has to defend against Stowe. Huber on his backside, able to take the puck. Bathgate drops it off for Murray. He slows it up, holds it up behind his own net, and he'll lead the charge. Out to the far wing. Bathgate tried to knock it past Stowe. Stowe just sends it right back to Tadino. 60 seconds remaining on the power play for the Anchormen. Duquette has it, takes a touch off the boards. Huber couldn't find it. That's taken away by Rizzo, and again saucered back into the defensive zone of the Anchormen. So the Anchormen struggling to get the puck through the neutral zone at the moment. Murray lost out. Rizzo takes it to the far penalty circle, or excuse me, far face-off circle. Had it poked away. Duquette was lurking on the far side right near the neutral zone dot. Knocked it on and kept in. Bathgate, only 25 seconds left remaining on the power play. Can they make something happen late in this clock? Duquette slicing forward. Wrist shot blocker saved by Fabrice. He had to be alert. That was going to find the top corner if he didn't get there. Huber keeps it in. Bathgate still has possession. Dumps it off for Murray, and that's another save by Fabrice, who just slid across.
He's using that blocker a lot tonight.
Any piece of his body in front of that one. 7 seconds on the man advantage for the Anchormen. Cutter comes out of the penalty box. That's his first sighting in about 7 minutes. The draw won by the Hawks, fired off the boards. Still 5-on-4, and that's going to be a delayed penalty on the Hawks, and it looks like Max Waske will take the place of Tyler Gover in the sin bin. So we'll go to just about the end of this period with an Anchorman man advantage.
We've kind of seen almost like a reversal. First period, it was a lot of Anchorman being in the box, Hawks having the man advantage. Now, last half of this period, it's Anchorman had 5 guys on the ice for a pretty decent amount of time.
The Hawks made their man advantages count. The Anchormen have yet to score on any of their power plays. Their only goal actually came with 4 men on the ice. Skalbinski slap shot, charged down. Fabrice had to knock that puck. It was high up in the air, down. It's still loose in front. Into the slot. Martinelli's there. Takes it out and dumps it in. He was just outside of that face-off circle. Zaro lifted the stick, got the puck to the point to Skalbinski. Daniels couldn't corral it in the corner. Zaro tries to clear again. Skalbinski keeps it in, and then the shot charged down. Laying his body on the line was Kelly. It's a hard slap shot from the big man that Kelly just got in front of. Puck up against the board. Jack Voney keeps it in. Try to drop it into the path of Daniels, too far out in front. Martinelli couldn't glove it, so the puck's going to go all the way back to Skalbinski to grab right between the hashes. Skalbinski skates forward a little bit with it, leaves it off for Luther on the near side. He takes it down in front of the Zamboni doors, wrapping around, dumps it off for Jack Voney. Jack Voney has it in the corner, skates closer to the hashes right outside the face-off circle. Now back down on the end line. Anchorman with it, back to the point. Bathgate, wrister in front, finds the tape of Huber. He knocks it out wide. Slap shot from Martinelli, loose in front. Luther gets the rebound, covered up by Fabrice. Luther's cleared out in front, and he looks to be all right. Thought for a second he was grabbing his wrist.
Fabrice is making key saves in the last 5 minutes. Stop that Bathgate puck that he is still seeing in his head, and now Luther's going to be seeing that one.
James Fabrice he let in the first effort of the night from the Anchormen. Since then, he's been tremendous, making save after save with any part of his body he can find. Slapper, glove save by Fabrice. That came from Murray. It was going wide the entire way. 1:02 left in the period, 32 left on the power play, as Huber looks like he has a different stick or a new tape job, as he's got some pink tape on the piece of lumber he's using right now. It's not lumber anymore. That's carbon fiber and graphite. And wrister from Duquette. That's blocked in the slot. Going down to get in the way was Murphy. He lost his stick as well. And the ref, he gets laid out as well. And the crowd lets out ironic cheers. They haven't been happy with the Zebras tonight, as that saucer attempt was knocked down. Bodies collide. Everyone's on the ice. Carnage right at the center circle, as Gover, Murray and
Duquette just kind of collided right there.
He's down as well, and he's worse for wear out of 3 of them.
Murray's trying to be like, come on, get up, and it's.
And in all that noise, Luther's going to head to the penalty box. So that will carry over to the third period. So it's 4-on-4 for the next 5 seconds. Then we'll see 30 seconds of a power play for Roger Williams, which will carry over into the third period. What has been quite the second period. Lost in all the shuffle. 2 goals from Roger Williams, nearly a third as that shot was deflected right in front of Tadino. Rizzo had it on the doorstep, couldn't find his teammate Wisniewski. Wisniewski fires one in off Tadino's stick. Pannone clears it. 18 seconds on the game clock. Fabrice comes out of his crease. Backhands it off the glass. Rizzo leading one last charge forward. It's 8 seconds left in the period. Wrist shot. Long rebound. Rizzo gloves it down. In front. Wraparound saved by Tadino. Try to lift it over him into the glass. And that's it for the second period. 20 more minutes down. And we have 20 more minutes left for you. And the Anchormen need 2 goals to tie this up, 3 to win, maybe more. We'll see. As Sam Allen will bring you the intermission report with head coach Chris Gwynn when we come back here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV. Stick with us.
Sam Allen here with head coach Chris Gwynn. Chris, that was a penalty-filled, kind of confusing for us up here second period. Can you just kind of fill us in on what some of those penalties were, especially when Nadiger was in the box and we had that almost 10-minute long break?
Yeah, that was a long break. What it basically broke down to, there was an initial call on the play going into the zone. There was a hooking call. And then there were 2 minors in the corner, 1 for each side. And then a misconduct at the end. He actually missed the punch on Roger Williams, so it should have matched up there. But the confusion came with the double minor coming in and how they come out of the box. And they were trying to figure out exactly when and who can jump on and what to start with. So they had some time to figure that out. I mean, it took a little bit longer than it should have. But basically, we broke down, so we had the 4-on-3 to start because of the double minors.
Okay. I mean, I feel like it almost worked out, at least especially for your defense's benefit, having a 10-minute break. They kind of could sit, rest their legs a little bit. You moved Alex Murray back to defense because Nadiger was in the box for so long. So did the team just kind of use that for a minute to kind of sit down, breathe a little bit, regroup, and get back in the game? Yeah,
it was actually a great timeout for us. We did have a chance to regroup, gather ourselves once again, and come back out with a little bit of energy and pep in our step, and we did. We held our own for the rest of that period. It's tough for the players right now because of the way the game's being called. So it's tough getting momentum. It's tough staying focused in the game. Hopefully we can clean it up for the third and really get some movement going and get back in this thing.
So besides just the cleaning it up and all that, what are you hoping to see out of your Anchormen going into that final period? You guys are down.
Right.
What are you going to hope?
What we got to do in this third period is basically get control of the game back, set the tempo, get the pace moving in our favor. And you can see where if we really pressure them, they turn it over like we did on the first goal. And if we can get that first one quick, we're right back in it and turn the game our way. All
right. Well, good luck for the rest of the game. All right. We'll be right back with the last period with this RIC Hockey Friday brought to you by Anchor TV.
Back inside the Dennis M. Lynch Arena, it's RIC Hockey Fridays brought to you by Anchor TV. Jared Ware, Sam Allen on the call. It's been a long one.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting there slowly as the Anchormen are down
along.
2 goals. Let's not forget that. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left on a power play for Roger Williams coming out of the intermission. The Anchormen haven't scored since early on in the first period. It's probably been about 35 minutes of game time. Roger Williams, 2 goals from Jared Rizzo, spelled the proper way, Jared.
There's other ways to spell Jared?
Yes.
Ask that question.
What planet do you live on? I feel like we don't live on the same or in the same like sphere of humanity because there's like 50 different spellings of Jared.
Learn something new every day.
Jarrod, Jarred. You can spell with an I. You can spell it Jairyd.
Okay.
Do you use Wikipedia ever?
Yes.
It's a serious question.
Yes.
Have you ever used Wikipedia?
I do use Wikipedia.
as we're just cleaning up the crease down on Vinny Tadino's end of the ice. Again, we have another stoppage. They come out on the ice. I think there's just a chip in the ice that they're trying to fill in now with some water. Hopefully that freezes over, and we'll be all set. 10-13 at night right now. We're heading into the third period. Brian Luther in the box for 1 minute and 26 seconds. We have, again, the refs working out that crease area, making sure everything's in order. I think they have the ice the way they want it.
I'm going to fall asleep halfway through this period.
So the ref drops the puck, and we've got 20 more minutes. The Anchormen need to make up 2 goals. Can they do it as Waski comes across the blue line? First attack for the Hawks in this third period. He wraps around the net, holding, waiting patiently. Back to the point, Williamson. Cross ice, D to D. Good feed right back to Waski. Wrister, kick save by Tadino. Mitchell there down low to corral the puck. Still with Roger Williams, and then has it taken away by Huber. Puck loose in the slot, and Adalizia the quickest to react to it. Tries to knock it on past Williamson. He has some space, but the puck just moving too quickly and gets to the goalkeeper first. Mitchell gloves down the slap shot that came from outside the blue line from Bathgate. Right onto the tape, Waski into the attacking zone. Bathgate's with him, bodies him down. Waski was losing his footing, but Bathgate made sure he met the ice. And that's saucered clear by the Anchormen. Fabrice, who's having just a tremendous afternoon in between the pipes, distributes it out to Williamson. Knocked on. Here comes Rizzo. He's got 2 goals. He's looking for number 3. Lifts a wrist shot into the high netting. And that'll be a stoppage in play as that puck goes out of play. So still 20 seconds remaining on the power play for Roger Williams. 18:54 left in this game. Nadiger with it. Backhands and saucers it clear all the way to right in front of the net of Fabrice. Dropped behind. Zaro off the boards to his teammate Knox. Knox picks his head up, had his pass intercepted though by Pannone. Pannone gets it out from underneath his feet, but into the path of Gover, and that's intercepted. So we're back to full strength as Luther pops out of the box. 18:27 is what we've got left for you in regulation. DePietro gets bodied off the puck by Luther. Luther spins around, clears it around the boards, and that will head down all the way to the other end of the ice. And that's going to be an icing call as Zaro was going to get there first. So we'll head back down to the other end of the ice, an attacking zone face-off for Roger Williams. Skating in is Gover. Luther in there as well for the Anchormen. He's wearing the captain C on his jersey. Only 2 of the 3 captains are dressed for this game. Brett Mora with an injury, unable to be selected to play in this game. He'll be out for a little while. There's a couple Anchormen who are injured, unable to play, and Jack Vonnie and Daniels are injured, but they're playing through it.
They have the 2 less severe injuries out of the 3. Zach Rodero actually injured his spleen and his ribs and a few other organs during Saturday's game against Westfield when he took a hit. So
the old Chris Sims injury, if anyone remembers back to like 2006, after Chris Sims led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoffs, and I selected him 5th round in my fantasy football league. He got his spleen destroyed week 2.
Whew.
Luckily, I picked up Vince Young via trade with my mother, and I went all the way on to win the Super Bowl. That's a fantasy football story for you.
There you go.
As a whistle goes, someone on the ice not happy about Chris Sims, who's been MIA ever since. His brother, he actually was in the game last week for the Jets, coming in for Geno Smith. As we're going to have an ejection, and it looks like And that's Alex Nadiger, who'll be hitting the showers early tonight. It's not a RIC Hockey Friday without an injection. So the Anchormen have held out this long without going down a man. They finally have one sent off.
Coaches, the team, yeah, they don't look happy. That's a tough one. Now we're going to have to play. Alex Nadiger is going to have to move back to D for the entire rest of the game. And then missing out on his fact with his line, it's just having someone, a defenseman, getting thrown out for the Anchorman is just not working for him today. Just not going to happen. Anchor TV up here having some technical difficulties. It's all right, guys. We still have another camera. We will stay with you throughout the rest of this game. Ryan Wilson, our top man on the camera right now, up in studio with us. Face off. I don't have my glasses on. Huber fighting for the puck behind the net. Sends it down the ice. Vinny with the save, does not allow a rebound on that one. Mass line changes for everyone. Bathgate falling down on that face-off, loses it, slap shot, wide. Skalabinski fighting some Hawks for the puck. Bathgate sends it wide behind to try to get it around. Luther grabs it. Shot wide, blocked once again by Skalabinski, making a second block of the night for the Anchormen. Once again, we're making mass line changes for everyone. And Jared Ware is back with me. Thanks, Jared.
Send in your texts and your tweets. Let's vote on how Sam Allen did for her play-by-play performance.
Awful. I'm not a play-by-play kind of girl.
Rizzo has it at the point, fires in a slap shot into the chest, right into that RIC Hockey logo on the chest of Vinny Tadino. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the power play for the Hawks. As we're having some technical difficulties with our penalty box camera, which we will get that back online, at least for the post-game interview. Onto the tape of Martinelli, put under pressure, saucers it clear. Rizzo, he's been all over the ice tonight. He'd be the three-star performer in the postgame if things stay as they are right now. Almost blew a tire behind his own net. Here comes Waski down the left wing, right underneath our camera. Works it to the end line, wrapping around. Try to put it out front. Rizzo has it, takes it down by the half boards, had it poked away. And the Anchormen will again clear. 3 minutes remaining on the man advantage. Rizzo shovels it forwards onto the tape, down the left wing. Comes DePietro. DePietro still with it into the corner. Down by the half boards, the hash marks right outside the face-off circle. That's just shoveled into the slot. Martinelli couldn't corral it. Tried to glove it down. Up top, Zambotti lost it for a moment. Duquette sneaks in. Can he skate away? The man is there, taken down. No call.
Hawks are taking it. Oh, and we're about to get a penalty. They're going to call Tadino for a trip on that one.
So Zambati has it on the half boards. Rister comes in, slap shot right into the back of the net from Williamson. That thing almost ripped a hole in the net. Tadino, very animated, way outside of his crease. Well, I think he's making the case that he was obstructed with. But Williamson with one of the most ferocious slap shots that you will see all season on RIC Hockey Friday, as Petchenko pops out of the box just to get some fresh air and goes right back in. So 2 minutes fresh on the penalty clock. Williamson, though, my goodness.
Jeez,
gracious.
that was a shot.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. That thing was coming for you.
Man.
So it will be a goal for Williamson, and Gover gets credited with the assist. That's Williamson's third goal of the year.
If it keeps up like this, we might skip the post-game interview just for safety of people on the ice, because I've seen fights break out after these games. Just throwing that out there.
It's settled down a little bit. There's still been, I think both teams are just not happy with the refereeing. I think both teams, it's less about what the guys on the ice are doing to each other. It's been pretty clean.
That's very true. It's more of what the referees are doing to the teams.
We've seen much more
I can agree.
aggressively called games, or aggressively played games. As a Roger Williams coach almost fell into the glass behind the bench. I think we're still trying to figure out the penalty situation.
It's sad to see when games are so in the hands of the referees sometimes.
Well, they're just slowing it down to a just ridiculously grinded out pace with these stoppages, trying to figure out either the penalty. And part of that might fall on the scorers. So I'm not 100% sure who's to blame or if there's any blame to go around. But what we do know, this has been a long game that a lot of these stoppages could and should be avoided. So I believe the 5-minute major was accidentally wiped off the clock. Tadino's penalty just went up, so Petchenko and Daniels are still in the penalty box. Anchorman nearly won the faceoff. It's taken away by Borman. He's bearing down on the Anchorman net, and a one-time attempt hit off the outside of the post. Mitchell nearly slapper. Williamson deflected on its way. Mitchell gloves it down and slots it past Tadino. It's 5-1. Roger Williams is all over Rhode Island College. And it's still going to be 5-on-4 hockey with the 5-minute major. And Petchenko pops out and goes back in again.
He just wants to skate out a little bit.
So Daniels is the man who can come out. Petchenko has to sit in.
Nope. Daniels is going back in.
Nope, neither guy's out. Daniel is out for just a moment, for a brief moment. And now finally, Daniels gets the hook. He's officially out, but it's still going to remain 5-on-4. So the Hawks making the most of the man advantage that they'll have for 5 minutes. They can score as many goals as they want with the 5-minute major out. Ian Mitchell gets on the score sheet. Rizzo behind his own net has it, breaks out from behind. Still over 13 minutes remaining in this third period. No one's noticed the official score clock hasn't started. But we got your official score down here on the screen as that's a wrist shot saved by Borman. So the clock just started briefly for about 2 seconds. I think they're going to have to wind that down. We've got 13:26 on our clock, which ran the entire time. The game clock is only at 13:47. Now we're having another discussion. I think this is one the refs are just going to want to get out of here after this. This has been a little bit of a fiasco. Skalabinski tries to clear for the Anchormen, kept in on the line by Zambati. Skating into the slot, uncontested. Wrister blocked away. That came from Gover. Zambati tries to keep it in for the Hawks, and he does. With it now, Gover at the half boards. Cross-ice feed to the defender, Kearney, into the slot. Gover with it, couldn't corral the bouncing puck. And the Anchormen get it into the neutral zone, D to D. Coming forward is Zambati, thinking about taking a slap shot. Had it poked away by Natalizia. Bina keeps it in. Skalabinski can't clear for the Anchormen. It's still down by in the corner. Back to the point with Zambati. Half boards, Bina has it, goes cross ice right across the face of goal. No one there to turn it home for the Hawks. Still 53 seconds left on the man advantage. As a whistle goes, and we'll see mass changes. .12:57 on the official game clock in the building. 12:36 as you see on the scoreboard graphic. Hope those of you at home are enjoying the new scoreboard graphic. We got more graphics coming for you in the coming weeks. We've been swamped in the Anchor TV office with the start of basketball season, which is really yet to kick into full gear. It won't until after the new year. Then we'll be ripping our hair out as we'll be going from the Murray Center to the Dennis M. Lynch and back to the Murray Center multiple times. But it's all for you guys in the dorms and those of you watching on the internet. As Rizzo skates into the slot, has his wrist shot. I believe that went into the glove of Tadino. I thought that got caught up in Huber's equipment for a moment. We'll have a few weeks off with Thanksgiving coming up next week. And we'll be back. The next sports broadcast will be December 5th as the Anchor men basketball team takes on Elms College.
And then we'll be here again the following night.
So you're getting all the sports action you can handle, and maybe some more. As that puck gets cleared, and finally the 5-minute major is over. Petchenko skates right across to the bench. Ref wanted to know if Petchenko popped out early. Scorers are all Anchormen. So
scorers are all Anchormen. We know the answer.
Shot gets all the way to Tadino. Just a wrister that stayed on the ice from Murphy. All sorts of screens in front of Tadino. Saw it late, got down and blocked it 5-hole. Huber gets away from the defender who popped the tire on his way. And now back on his feet is Stuckman, and again loses his footing. Natalizia couldn't control it, put under pressure from Borman, takes it away from him. Excuse me, that was Waski he took it away from. Luther in the neutral zone trying to corral the puck, loses out. Down the left wing comes Demers, and he has it poked away from behind by Luther. Puck loose in the slot, Natalizia has it, and that's going to be a whistle.
Daniels is going to the penalty.
Daniels is going to have to go to the bin once again. And Daniels has been ejected from the ball game, from the hockey game. So he'll join Natiger. They're both in the locker room at the moment. And this ref right here, you see grabbing the puck. Tassoni He's already kicked Daniels out a couple times, or at least once on RIC Hockey Fridays after Daniels got into a little bit of a melee a few weeks ago. And now he escorts him again off the ice, and we'll get restarted eventually. So ref goes over. He's going to talk to the Anchormen bench. And that's going to be another 5-minute major, I believe, on the Anchormen as the 5 is up on the scoreboard. Penalties are an issue for this Anchorman team moving forward, so they're going to have to find a way to clean that up. Cost them this game, the 5-minute major specifically. They were only down 2 goals in this period. Still very much in the game. Also going across to serve a penalty will be Ian Mitchell. Five to 1 scoreline. 2 from Rizzo, 1 from Borman, 1 from Williamson, 1 from Mitchell. Nathan Duquette with the lone short-handed goal for the Anchormen way back in the first period, the first half of the first period. Since then, Fabrice, he's been called into the action a few times, but has made some great saves. Jack Voney will skate off the ice. Slap shot from Murphy, hits off the crossbar, down. Is that in the?
That is not in.
The net off the pegs. Tadino again in all sorts of contact. Skates away from the zone without his stick. Finally gets it back. A teammate comes across and hands it to him. That's Murray. The slap shot from Murphy that deflected off the crossbar straight up into the air right over Tadino's head. So we're 4-on-4 for another minute and 55 seconds.
And Chris Pachenko skates back across the ice and back into the penalty box. Face off. Duquette's got it.
Dumped into the corner. Duquette missed on a slap shot there, and coming away once again is Roger Williams down the far side, bursting forwards is Stowe, who has all sorts of speed. Just shovels one in towards Tadino, and he covers that up. We'll get another whistle. 1:34 left on the 4-on-4. 5-minute major again adjudged on the Anchormen. Murray comes away with it, bursting down the right side, has his stick caught up with Williamson, stays with the puck, tried to slide it across to Duquette, but coming across defensively was Jake Kearney. Kearney with it, spins, picks his heads up, finds the stick of his teammate Demers down the far right side in all sorts of spaces. Cutter, and he couldn't get to that pass from Demers. Murray shovels it forward, tries to get it away from Demers, who just slaps it back in against the boards. Puck still in the attacking zone. Forecheck pressure applied by Cutter. Lackadaisically, wasn't trying too hard. Long puck for Duquette. Will he get there first? He does. Wraps around into the corner. Lost his edge. Williamson comes away with the puck. D-to-D pass, finds his teammate. That was Kearney. Cutter down the left wing. And that's going to be an offside on Roger Williams. So we'll see a neutral zone face-off with just about 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Just a little bit before. We got about 20 minutes, 11 o'clock. Real time. Long game.
wrister goes wide off the glass. That was Wisniewski. Knox has it. Passes it forwards, and that's going to be an icing called against Roger Williams. So it will be an attacking zone faceoff for the Anchormen. They still have 9 minutes and 50 seconds to battle their way back into this one. They need 4 goals now instead of the 2 they needed coming into the period. Every good chance they've had has been repelled by Fabrice. But there really hasn't been a great shooting opportunity or shot on goal in Fabrice's period. He hasn't had much work to do. Usually we're saying that about Tadino. Today it's Fabrice, and at this point in the game, especially in the defensive ranks with only 4 guys, those legs must be feeling real heavy right now for the Anchormen. Slap shot into the chest of Tadino. Not to mention they've been having to play most of this game down a man. Really put some strain on the defense of the Anchormen, and you're starting to see Roger Williams. They've been in the ascendancy this entire period, and they've been well in control for the last 11 minutes and change. So now the Hawks will have another 3 minutes of 5-on-4. And again, because of the major, they can score as many goals as they want. The Anchormen not able to come out of the box, and Huber nearly plucked one out of midair as there's a little pushing and shoving. Natalizia and Zaro. Huber in that garbage area. Coach Calcione in the box earlier today told us that's where Huber makes a living. Nearly found another. As the injured Alex Lobes has a few words for Ryan Huber as he skates off to the bench. Bino with it, takes it down into the corner, has some teammates crashing, puts it into the crease, puck still loose in front, into the slot, and eventually covered up by Tadino. So we'll see an attacking zone face-off for Roger Williams. All they want to do is just keep the puck for as long as they can. DePietro nearly had it right in front in the slot, unable to keep that in. Was Stuckman. Murphy off the boards, nearly had it intercepted. Good hit by Murray on the diminutive DePietro. Skalabinski saucers that one clear down to the far end of the ice. Murphy put under pressure by Bathgate. Stuckman with it, back to Murphy, and Stuckman is put on his backside by Natalizia. Great open ice hit there by Mark Natalizia.
Nice.
Tadino keeps it on the boards, kept in by Roger Williams. Played off the boards onto the stick of Gover, and Natalizia hits Gover, knocked his helmet off. Whistle went. Gover's going to skate to the bench with his helmet in his hands.
Hey, it was a clean hit.
Bathgate wins the draw for the Anchormen. Murray has it. Tries to slide one into the path of Bathgate, but the defense for Roger Williams closes ranks. 7:45 left in the game. Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you the action. 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Roger Williams. It was a 5-minute major picked up by Anthony Daniels. He's in the locker room along with Alex Nadiger, who had the same foul called against him earlier. So the Anchormen, already with a short bench, are down 2 players. Skalabinski's back to touch that up for icing. So it's been a battle of attrition for the Anchormen, and that will continue to go on. They do have the break coming up, which is much needed. Hopefully they get some bodies back coming back after Thanksgiving. Maybe Mama's home cooking will have them back a little quicker. Or Dad, I don't know. My dad cooks Thanksgiving dinner, so maybe their dads cook as well. As down the left wing, that's poked into the path of Demers. It's 2-on-1 and had it poked away by Martinelli. He'd split the Anchorman defense, but Mike Martinelli rises to the occasion. One of the two active captains right now. Brett Moore should be back potentially maybe next time we're here inside the Lynch Arena. Not sure. Into the slot, taking off the tape of Borman. The Anchorman coming forwards, 22 seconds left on the power play for Roger Williams, and that was a half shot from Huber that just goes wide of the near post. Martinelli has it in the neutral zone, 10 seconds left on the power play clock. Luther just fires that down the ice. It deflects off the stick of Zaro, and coming out of the box as we speak is Petchenko. He's got to fly across the ice, and he's going to stay on for a little bit. So the reserve goalie, Petchenko, gets some time out on the ice. Tadino covers up, and you can tell that Petchenko is a reserve by the color of the jersey. That's a much lighter white shade than the rest of his teammates, and he doesn't want to go to the bench right now.
I want to stay out here. I want to play.
Tadino way outside of his crease.
I think he has a question.
And he's talking to the ref at the moment.
Even the coaches are kind of confused.
Coach Gwynn out on the ice.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I think there might be some ice or maybe an equipment issue with Tadino.
Okay.
We saw that
Okay.
a few weeks ago. He needs a strap probably fixed on that right leg pad. We saw that getting checked out a few weeks ago, as we mentioned. So this might be a few minutes as Coach Gwynn goes over and we'll work the equipment out. Petchenko remains on the ice for the Anchormen. We'll see what he brings to the team while he's out there.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you switch halfway through. With the amount of goalies that Rick has, there's a lot of them. Necessarily all of them can't play. Maybe switch it up, try another position, get some more playing time.
Pat Noak is out on the ice just in case. And Noak will head back to the bench, and Coach Gwynn as well. Assured footing on the ice, not even close to slipping. Kelly will take the face off, loses out the draw to Luther, but fights hard and gets it back. His wrist shot just goes wide of the glove side post of Tadino. Behind the net, working hard is Murray. Gets a little shove in there on James Stowe. Slap shot goes wide from Zaro. Cutter off the boards to Knox. Rister deflected on the way, goes wide. Skalabinski gets a stick on it. Luther coming forward, brings it into the neutral zone down the left wing. Tries to take it all the way into the attacking zone. Slapped in by Skalabinski, and that's blocked away by Fabrice. 5.5 minutes left. That pass intercepted by Natalizia, unable to keep it in the attacking zone, so he had to check back, then tries to split a few defenders, and eventually shoved off the puck by Zaro. Up against the boards, the Anchorman battling for it. Murray, whip shot, goes wide. Delayed penalty. And finally, Roger Williams takes a touch, and Zaro is the man who's going to have to make that long walk to the penalty box all by himself. So the Anchormen will take this down to 3 minutes and 11 seconds with a man advantage. Dylan Zaro takes a seat. The Anchormen would need something special to happen if they're going to at least force overtime. Murray skates away from the first man, had his shot blocked. Deflected into the neutral zone. Huber has it for the Anchormen. Everyone's going to retreat, and then they'll launch another attack off the boards. Huber couldn't corral it. Zambotti saucers it clear off the glass. Tadino out to get it. Walks it behind his net. Duquette touched on by Petchenko. Huber with it. Back to Petchenko. Couldn't control it, and he gets knocked off his skate. Huber in the slot. Wrist shot. Finds the corner, but a muted celebration. 5-2. Huber gets on the score sheet. It's a great finish. You can't ask for much more. Wrister into the top corner, right over the blocker side of the goalkeeper, Fabrice. And another Hawk goes into the penalty box. So the Anchormen will continue to have a man advantage. They're still down 3 goals.
Anything can happen.
True.
I always like to refer to that Bruins game 7 against Toronto. Anything can happen.
Huber to Murray. They're going to have to make something happen quickly. Back to Murray. Forecheck pressure put on by Cutter. Off the boards. Huber has it. He comes forward. Nearly lost the puck for a second. Gets it right back. Duquette comes skating on forwards over the blue line. There defensively was Murphy. Knox comes across, and he has the puck. Spins away. Still with the Hawks down in the corner. Daniel Kelly loses it to Duquette to the point. Huber with it. Off the boards. Dumped along by Duquette. Still all the way down in the corner. Bathgate cross ice to the far point. Murray. Huber thought about taking a slap shot there on the one-timer. Didn't quite pull the trigger. Petchenko knocks it into the attacking zone, and he
Petchenko's playing pretty well tonight, I have to say. All right, Jared's lost this for a couple minutes. Okay, we get some more Sam Allen play-by-play to end this game. Across to Murray. Murray shot, shoots it, and we're going to have a whistle. Okay.
.320 left. Jared Ware, Sam Allen bringing you all the play-by-play action. It's 10:51. Late night here in the Dennis M. Lynch Arena. A lot longer than we expected, but still shorter than the EastCon Epic last year, which got out of here at like midnight. And that's a quick wrister saved by Fabrice. Someone loses their stick. Puck in the slot. Natalizia had it. Bathgate calls for it. Goes D to Murray. He skates inside the faceoff circle. Back to Bathgate. Thought about the slapper. He's showing it. Without his glove was Borman. He had to come out, and he's still skating around without a stick. That's in the neutral zone, and he can't go get it. Now he's thinking about it, and he finally does get his stick back. And Bathgate has the puck taken away. Borman down the far wing to the end line. Tried to lift one over the glove side at Tadino. And that's just momentarily kept in by the Hawks, but coming forward is Luther. Luther, he's taken out. That was Williamson who got his body into Luther, and Luther's down in some pain. Right next to the post of the net. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. And Luther, without his helmet on, doing some John. So this will be a neutral zone face-off. Face-off won by the Anchorman. Cook back to Martinelli, forward to the defender. Murphy has it. He got it from Kearney. Down the far side, nearly having it poked away was Bina. On the ice, Jack Voney got knocked over. He's back on his feet. Slap shot. Tadino had his glove around it, but it was knocked off the rim. Puck into the neutral zone. Jack Voney, excuse me. Big hit into Murphy. Again into the attacking zone, and that's an offside on Bina as he was out in front of Gover. Skalabinski wasn't all the way off the ice there, so I think we're going to do this one more time. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left here on RIC Hockey Fridays, brought to you by Anchor TV. Regulation, and then Sam Allen will brave her way onto the ice for a post-game interview.
Open.
And that's a big hit from Natalizia again. That's a decleater as Mitchell lifted up off his feet. As Chris Spielman would call that, a slobber knocker. And another big hit.
Huge hit.
That's Murray and Mitchell again.
Mitchell's just getting beat up.
He's been a, and again, bodies all over the place in the slot. Martinelli tries to knock it off the board. That's slapped down by Murphy. He knocks it into the attacking zone. Chasing this one down is Wisniewski, and Wisniewski tries to get into Skalabinski. So I think for the next minute and 30 seconds, we're just going to see guys trying to knock each other's skates off. Mitchell gets it off his stick quickly. Bursting forwards here is Deemer. Slap shot, gloved by Tadino. Big save from Vinny. 5-2 scoreline, 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Picking this face off will be Daniel Kelly. Martinelli off the boards. Cook is in the area. Getting down there first, though, is James Stowe. Stowe reverses his direction, put under pressure by the Anchormen. Kept in by Knox. Shot, gets all the way to Tadino, and he gloves it gratefully. Zaro, wrister, gets knocked down on the way towards Tadino. Jack Voney tries to get it out near side to Cook. Cook tries to knock it around, and he takes out the penalty box door, which has been off its hinges all game. So it's really not as big of an effect as we just made it out to be. But it was a great hit. Big collision. Someone could seriously get hurt down there.
Yeah,
so they're going to have to
follow.
And again, here they go, and that's some nice hitting down over on the far side by Cutter. And Hassel not happy with Cutter.
Just hit him.
And Hassel just took
Hassel gets ejected from the game.
Hassel took a big old hack at Cutter. So Hassel is going to be gone. Cutter's going to go to the penalty box. So for the last 34 seconds, Cutter will be in the box. Really not an issue. It's 5-on-3 to finish the game. So another delayed stoppage. Luther is going to go over and he's going to have a word with the refs, who again are trying to figure out what's going on.
34 seconds left in this game. It is now past 11 o'clock. Oh, nope.
Tadino is going to head to the bench. Pat Noak will take his place for the last 34 seconds. Or, excuse me, Matt Collins. We're going through the motions here with 34 seconds left. I mean, all this isn't really going to matter if there are penalties or not. They're not going to go the full distance. So just put them in the box for the rest of the game. Let's move on. And I think both the coaches are just saying, let's just do
go.
this.
Let's go.
So Cutter is on the verge of coming out of the box.
I think they're just wrapping the game up.
So yeah, that's actually going to be it. That's the final. They just called it, so it's 5-2. That's the final score, and a lot of the anchormen are just skating off the ice. They're not going to do the post-game handshake. Couple guys shaking hands, but most of the team, they're not. I think that's just in design trying to avoid any sort of post-game skirmish. So again, the final is 5-2 here on RIC Hockey Fridays from the Dennis M. Lynch Arena. 2 goals from Jared Rizzo, a goal from Zach Borman. Ian Mitchell and Sean Williamson both got a goal as well. And for the anchorman, Nathan Duquette and Ryan Huber both got goals as well. We have no post-game interview for you. We're just going to wrap things up. Again, the final 5-3 for everyone here at Anchor TV. Emily LeBlanc, Sam Allen, Ryan Wilson, and John Kamiziak. We're going to say bye. Everyone have a great night. We'll be back in a few weeks with more RIC Hockey Fridays. Everyone have a good night.